Introducing DSG's 5MT podcast, where we draw inspiration from the annual 3-minute thesis for PhD candidates, challenging them to explain their research in 3 minutes or less. In each episode, we'll dive into a marketing topic, giving you the essentials without the time commitment. Tune in for quick, valuable marketing insights on the 5MT podcast by your DSG marketing team.
Hi, Paige.
Hi.
How are you?
Always fabulous.
I guess we had an extremely special episode
I know.
today.
I'm really
psyched about it.
Yeah, me too.
So I want you to read what's on my shirt
Okay.
for the listening audience. This is some great radio.
Okay. I'm reading Mike's shirt. Paris, London, New York, Tokyo, Phoenixville.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it. So this is a really it's become one of my favorite shirts.
I know, I'm kind of
you're
jealous.
from a t-shirt family as well.
I am. My husband loves t-shirts.
When I saw this, I just thought it's perfect. And as we are in our office in Malvern, right up the road is Phoenixville, and just amazing things going on there.
Oh, I know.
Recently, DSG, on behalf of DSG Local, joined the Phoenixville Chamber of Commerce, which we're totally thrilled about. We met some great people, and I want to kick it over to Jack because he's got a very exciting announcement and a special guest to introduce.
Oh, thanks, Mike. You kind of pitched it up to me perfectly. So this is not going to be our typical 5MT episode. We're very excited to be part of the Phoenixville Chamber of Commerce. So we have a special guest here today. We had the president of the Phoenixville Chamber of Commerce, Jessica Capistrant. So Jessica, welcome to 5MT. We're thrilled to be part of the chamber, and we're thrilled to have you on.
Thank you, Jack. Appreciate it. And thank you, Mike and Paige, for the time.
Well, it's great to talk to you, Jessica.
It's our pleasure, Jessica.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining. Really quick, let's start out. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And the kind of overall mission of the chamber. That would be wonderful for our audience.
Yeah, absolutely. I joined the Chamber of Commerce staff nearly 14 years ago now, with a role that was inside the office. And as a personal note, I was always interested in the chamber. And I grew up in a family of many entrepreneurs. I personally grew up many, many years of my life in a restaurant. My parents owned a restaurant too. And so I've always had a lot of respect for people who own and operate their own business. And all of those parts are somehow their job, right? So I've sort of always understood that component of it and had a lot of respect for it. My time with the chamber has certainly evolved as Phoenixville has evolved. So again, I will be with the organization for 14 years in the new year. And I've had the distinct pleasure and honor of serving as the president and CEO since 2014. In that time, we have run literally thousands of events at large scale community festivals, all the way down to ribbon cuttings for business owner who just wanted to have mom watch the ribbon cutting, right? So we're doing it of all shapes and sizes. And we represent a chamber and a community that is predominantly made up of small businesses. Over half of our membership is constituted by people who have between 1 and 5 full-time employees. So when we hear small business in the United States, that means up to 200 employees. So our chamber is representing really micro businesses as well, and which, as we all know, is really the heartbeat and the backbone of the United States economy. So it's a very interesting challenge. It's been an exciting time. All these years, again, have sort of been different. And the chamber has been through a lot of evolution as well. Yeah.
That's awesome. Jessica, you mentioned events and planning. You said thousands of events, right? Are there events that you've planned that people get most excited about? I know we met personally at a golf event, which was a beautiful day and a great spot, a great golf course, but and local, obviously. But are there events that really get people going, get members going, and they can't wait to get there or can't wait for that date to roll around?
Yeah. Thanks for that question. That's a great question. I would say, the Chamber has, now again, a pretty firm monthly calendar. So there are events that you can look forward to each month. One of our most popular events, which Jack and a few of your other colleagues attend, is our Coffee and Connections event. And I think one thing that keeps that interesting is that we also find a number of what I like to call not yet members of the Chamber that come in to network and meet new people, right? So on a smaller scale, an event that might garner 20 to 50 people coming in attendance for 1 hour. But if they leave within that hour meeting 3 or 4 people that somehow energize them about their business, we do find a lot of folks like to return to that multiple times per year as well. And the Chamber also offers signature annual events. There are 3 of those. You had mentioned golf, which is one. The other 2 include an annual dinner, which our annual dinner is an award celebration. And it's the warmest and fuzziest thing I think most chambers can do. So, are really celebrating community. And the people that, make up the membership, that is one thing we talk about all the time. Yes, businesses and nonprofit organizations, for example, for our chamber, are what is listed in the directory, but it's really the people that can transform how a chamber is represented, the types of programming it does, events it does. So the annual dinner is a really nice reminder. A lot of people really look forward to attending that event each year, and they leave that event feeling really, really good. And also, we have an annual gala that takes place every fall. And that's really just a party. So we try to
I think we're most excited about that.
I know. When Mike and Jack came to the office, that was they were like, there's a gala.
Yeah. We always theme that. So this year's theme is Under the Big Top. So it'll be a circus theme.
Very cool.
And we're really excited about that. Again, chambers have this unique position where we do know that economically, of course, chambers provide generally in most places a very positive impact to the economy. They're connecting businesses to each other, and they are sometimes have economic development dollars that very specifically get projects started, et cetera. Obviously, that is something that contributes to people's households and to their way of life and their quality of life and living in a certain place. But beyond that, chambers are not for profits that are doing cancer research and all this other important work in the world. And so for us, we're like, it just has to be a really good party. That's what people are generally looking for.
They want to get together and network. Yeah.
Yes. And we utilize members, right, to pull that up. So members help organize that event. We host that event at a member location. We use members as the vendors that support that event. So, that's another really exciting thing I think people look forward to. On the community level, we had historically hosted a food truck festival in our city. That was the largest event that we hosted, and arguably in one given day, in 6 hours, the attendance was usually 30 or 35,000.
Wow, that's significant. Yeah,
significant number. A lot of people to prepare for, and so. Yeah, obviously, all the way through these small things to these ginormous festivals, they all kind of have something to offer.
And how great is that to kind of round out back to the mission? You're supporting the community, right? You're seeing that kind of community engagement. That's not just members, right? 35,000 people coming to a food truck festival. That's really, really great.
Yeah. I think that the benefit there too, with having a chamber that is involved in community events, I think a big piece of our mission is not only connecting businesses to each other, but connecting community to the business community. So the people that live here get the point that there are businesses here that can meet their needs. And when I came into town, there had already been loads of people doing loads of work for a really long time. I always say that about Phoenixville. It is not an overnight success. Phoenixville, the rubber really hit the road here for a long time in a negative way. And many people work together to change that trajectory. But you look at an event like Food Truck, why would the chamber spend time on a food truck festival? Or the argument of even bringing in food trucks that maybe aren't members, of course, of the chamber, or they're from a city. And the point there was we really wanted to create urban events in a suburban place because we needed people to come back out and see our demo.
Yeah,
Many people,
absolutely.
And you can advertise to the hilt, but if you don't engage people in a meaningful way, it really falls flat and doesn't mean anything. So that event that day, maybe somebody didn't eat in your restaurant, but they saw
eyes on your brand, right? Like you're bringing that in. You can't get that kind of publicity or press by forcing it via an advertisement or something. So, Jessica, you touched on a couple really great resources, or you were kind of skirting around them a few times, but I'd love for you to kind of just let us know kind of what resources are available to members and how you kind of help different members for the chamber.
Yeah, I think all members can use chambers as an extension of their business team, as a generality. So the needs for your business, for example, as a member are different maybe from someone that owns a restaurant, or somebody is in retail, or even insurance, right? So just like people, the needs of businesses also evolve over time. So when you join a chamber, it's really good to stay in touch and communicate those needs continually in ways that you could use help. And if a chamber doesn't have a direct service in that, I still feel very confident that most of the time they have enough resource to guide you to. So, a couple examples might be, I have a small business and I really wanted to provide health insurance to my employees, and my rate is crazy. Do you have somebody that can look at that? Or their standard business insurance, all the way to, we've had restaurants, I'd say particularly restaurants, this is a good qualifier for, that need some advocacy surrounding either county or state level roadblocks. We have a member even within the last a year, with several actually, but one that I think of particularly, which is that she was trying to open and trying to get a couple of things done in the building and could not get the appropriate amount of power to the building, and could not reach somebody effectively at Pico. And it's not a slant to Pico. Pico wants to help people, but you have to have a certain person come out at a certain time. And that just was not connecting. And so we were able to make one single phone call, and that person, had a solution within 48 hours. And that's because every chamber does advocacy in some way. You're not going to find me in Harrisburg every week, but there are some chambers that may function that way. But regardless of size, every chamber should do advocacy. So that's always an element of membership too.
Awesome. No, that's a great example. It's just, these are the little things that, you're engaged with, a utility company, a technology provider in the area. What's the best opportunity, and how you guys can help connect the dots, because you may know Pico, you may be paying the bill every month for your house, but it's not the same thing, right? It's not, they're different departments, they're different concerns, they're different people. There's its own bureaucracy there. And just being able to help kind of cut through that and help a business achieve, what they're really trying to do, which is not, concern of an electrical engineer. So I really appreciate the example.
Yeah, you're going to want to lean on a convener and a connector, and that's what chambers are. And, that naturally happens for us as people come into positions, for example, in government roles. We utilize that when new business owners take over things. We're always looking to get in contact with those folks too, just because the more information we have, the better we can connect people. And another sort of asset, of course, I'm sure, as Jack knows, for example, Jack attends a lot of events. So networking events are a huge component, I think, of what people look for out of a chamber. How do I physically and personally connect? Which, of course, through COVID was an interesting challenge and opportunity. And I think a lot of us rolled with the punches there for a while. But what I have seen anyway is that a lot of people are very much looking to connect in person again. And that's obviously another big asset. Programming, educational stuff, things that make you a better, stronger business person, a person that people want to come to understand information. It can strengthen your relationships with your staffs, and it can strengthen your relationships with your clients. There's all sorts of fringe benefits than having the membership listing on the website. So a lot of opportunities.
Very cool. No, that's great, Jessica. I appreciate the detail and the passion obviously comes through when you're talking about how you're advocating for these businesses. So it's really great. One quick question for you, and I think we appreciate you coming on. But what does the Chamber do to highlight specific local businesses? I know we've talked about adding to the website the directory. You've mentioned a couple of cool things that you do with bringing the gala event or staffing that with local vendors or chamber members who can be the vendors, who can be hosting the event. Are there any specific call outs you guys do that you want to get across to the public or prospective members who might want to join?
Sure. Yeah. Aside from what you've mentioned here, that a couple other things would be for folks who have information to share that maybe less people in their industry typically go out and do, or people who have had these experiences in business and they've really cut their teeth. There's opportunities to share in that with other people. We have luncheons in 2025. We're actually opening a new headquarters, and it will be 4 times the size of our previous location. So we will be able to host things on site. We are looking to be doing lunch and learn events, and that will be members sharing with each other experience, that sort of thing. There's that. Phoenixville, of course, very well known for its downtown and retail and dining district. And within that, we will do, of course, events that are within the downtown also to highlight. But we do, for example, at the holidays, just because that's coming from something we're thinking about, is that we do shopping nights that are dedicated to highlighting some of the local businesses. We also just invested in some video production. So
Excellent.
Were asked to participate in that. And so the insides of their locations and outside, just to create some excitement, to draw people to Phoenixville for different reasons. And of course, we have email blasts. We have member-to-member discounts, which we promote as campaigns. And basic things on social media. People ask us to share those things all the time as well, just to kind of help raise awareness. Our website hosts the community calendar, so you can add things to that as well. So those are a few basic things that we're doing too, alongside the other stuff.
That's great. You say basic, but
I know I was going to say that's not basic.
Actually, very well thought out, and all things that can help businesses. I love to hear that, and I think we talked about this a little bit in the new headquarters. But what a great opportunity for kind of businesses or members to take advantage of the production that you guys are offering and those highlights. In our world, we deal a lot with how can you get easy messaging onto like a Google business profile or something like that. That's very public. That's very widely used by any prospective new customer or existing ones. And those are things that I think are really going to be helpful to businesses in the future to say, hey, there's a great resource that I don't know how to do a video. I run a restaurant, but are there ways you can talk about it? Are there ways that you can produce these things on behalf or in conjunction with? And I think that's a really good kind of forward way to think about it. But
we want to thank President of the Phoenixville Chamber of Commerce, Jessica Capistrant, for joining us on 5MT today. We are thrilled to be parts of the Chamber, and we wanted to show our appreciation by bringing on the President. So Jessica, we just want to thank you for your time today.
Thank you, guys. Great opportunity. I appreciate your time.
As a very special offer to those that are listening today, for the members that are part of the Phoenixville Chamber of Commerce, DSG would like to offer a free market consultation. This is inclusive of a local intelligence report. Hey, Mike, what's a local intelligence report?
Paige, the local intelligence report is the most important part of our Power Tools bundle. It gives a great idea of where prospective clients are and how best to find them.
Very much a good cornerstone or foundation in creating a marketing plan for any small business. If interested, go ahead and email us at chamber@dsgssi.com. That's chamber@dsgssi.com. Subject line 5MT. Looking forward to working with you. Thank you so much for tuning in to DSG's 5MT podcast. I'd love to thank my co-host, Mike Gatos.
Truly my pleasure. And I would like to give a big thank you to our producer, Jack Marinello.
If you enjoyed this podcast, like and subscribe to 5MT. Have a question? Leave a comment. Tune in next time.
Happy marketing.